Big fish catch this morning. Looks like my old motorcycle. In all honesty, one of the real reasons I come out here in the mornings. That's your breakfast, June, right there? Breakfast and lunch? The heavy? Oh, a little bit heavy. It looks like my old motorcycle. It is. My first time low tide. First time since we've been back.
When low tide is just after sunrise, it's a good time to head out onto the exposed sands. It's a great place to just walk about by myself and enjoy some quiet time away from the noise of the village. The local fishermen here typically head out to fish at around 3 or 4 in the morning, and they arrive back here just after sunrise. Most days, you might see other villagers come out and meet the local fleet of fishermen as they arrive and they pluck their early morning catch out of their nets.
Morning. What kind of fish you looking for? What fish you looking for? What kind? Any kind?
Yeah.
Oh.
Most days, you might see other villagers come out and meet the local fleet of fishermen as they arrive and pluck their early morning catch out of their nets. You better get here early, though, if you want to pick of the litter, so to speak. This day, there didn't appear to be much of a good catch, but that's the life of a Filipino fisherman and his family. They basically survive on what they catch, and if they have enough fish, they might even make a meager income selling it to the other villagers. It's rare to see any good-sized fish come in from these local waters. Some days like today, I will get a little curious and take in the vibe of it all before heading out across the sands.
You're going to be on YouTube.
Sup. Dapat English sup.
What's English sup kuya?
I don't know.
Huh?
Crab. Well, this is small.
Small crab.
Yeah, throw him back.
Huh?
Throw him back. He's too small. No. You eat him?
Huh?
Eat him? That's your breakfast, June, right there?
Huh?
That's your breakfast? Huh?
Yes.
Your breakfast and lunch? Breakfast and lunch? When we first moved here to this village over there, I spent a lot of time out here in this sandbar at low tide. The winter months, and I did a video a long time ago about all the different sand patterns that I came across here. Every day brings a different pattern. Every season actually brings a different pattern. And every direction of the wave and the winds can change these patterns overnight. And from one sandbar to the next sandbar, you have a completely different pattern, sand pattern. It's actually pretty awesome. But back in the old days, I'd spend a lot of time out here just walking. Me and the dog. Sometimes Terry would come with me. Sometimes we'd bring our chairs out here and have coffee just about sunrise. We call them sand dollars. There's a lot of them here. Sometimes the beach would just be inundated with sand dollars. Used to be really easy to find. I haven't seen too many this morning though. But I've measured this walk before with my Strava app, and it's like I could walk almost 2 kilometers in that direction. Well, from over there to over there, about 2 kilometers, and back is another 2 kilometers. There's another sand dollar. And there's another one. The only hazard out here is I could trip and fall face down in the sand. And yeah, the only risk I have is being a fool. But in any case, we're gonna walk into the sun here a while, so I hope this doesn't destroy the video. But nary a footprint out here. Boats come in there, people come get their fish. It didn't look to be a very productive day today, but nonetheless, there's enough there to feed a few families. The fishermen will sell what they can and keep the rest for their own meals. Now I have a decision to make. Do I cross this divide or this divide? Oh well. I'll take the deep one. It's going to be about that deep. Maybe 10 minutes before actual low tide. This is about as low as it's going to get though, I think. So if I walk too far out, I'll have to come back on a rising tide, which is no biggie. It's not that deep, but just have to walk through a lot more water. I can see out there, way out there, there's a couple, I don't know what they are, they're structures. Fish, I think they're fish traps. That's how shallow the water is along the coast here, going towards Calbayog. It's so shallow that you can walk. Well, I don't know if you can see. You see where the waves are breaking out here? Waves are breaking right about there. That's where it actually drops off at, but it's a gradual drop off. So this sandbar actually extends to where the breakers are. So if you want to swim right now, you're going to have to go to the edge of the sandbar before you get to deeper water. Right now, we're just going to keep walking into the sun. And it's going to get hotter today. I might just walk to here and turn around and go back. We have Terry and I have a function to go to today. It's a friend of ours, their 42nd anniversary. So we're going to go help them celebrate. There's a few more sand dollars in the water there, you can see them. Boy, if sand dollars were worth anything, you'd get rich in this spot. Anyway, we've got a luncheon to attend, and I'm just going to be back home to do some packing because we're leaving for Manila in a couple days. And what the heck is this? I was talking about sand patterns earlier. All kinds of weird things you come across on this beach. It looks like a crab lost part of his claw. But all kinds of critters live out here in this sandbar. You see sand castles and sand dunes. Here's another one right here. Not sure what causes it, but probably some sort of a mud bug. There's a little volcano. But not a lot of different patterns today. Let me go back this way. Let's see how far I've walked. Probably half a kilometer. Another squiggly pile of something. See here, the pattern's changed a little bit. They're different here than they are right here. And like I said, some days you can come out here and there'll be a dozen different patterns in the sand. You just have to walk to a different sandbar. And I'll put up some pictures of some older pictures that I took years ago of the different patterns. But it's just fun to look at. It's very artistic. Mother Nature is an artist, or can be. Has a tendency to rearrange things at her will. And here we go, just a little bit different pattern than what we just came across. There was a larger pattern there. Now we got a smaller pattern, and it kind of really just dwindles down into a completely different pattern. Sand patterns. Let's try this next sandbar over, see if we can see anything different. You would think though, when the tide goes out, in these little pools, you think there'd be a lot of little fish get trapped in there, but no, they don't. For some reason, fish are pretty smart. When the tide's going out, they know to head to deeper water. It's like they know they're going to get trapped. So just given that aspect of fish thought, fish seem to be pretty smart in their own right. You might see a few tiny little fish in here, but nothing you could eat. Now these are all sand dollars. You can see them buried in the sand. These ones are still alive. And the way you can tell they're still alive is they got the little frills on the, I guess, I don't know what they call them, tentacles on the edge of the sand dollar. So these are alive. When they die, they turn a bony white, and almost they're just calcium, I think, mostly made of calcium. Or at least that's what I'm gonna say they are. Might be wrong, but they look like calcium, look like bone. In any case, here's another critter. That to me looks like that's a coconut shell with barnacles on it, and something living in there, I'm sure. Like I said, there's all kinds of critters out here on these sandbars. Most of them live under the mud. You get to see a lot of these sand dollars when they're, and I'm not sure what the technical name for them is, but when they're alive, they bury themselves. See how they bury themselves in the sand there? They're all buried. You can see them under the sand. I'm gonna carry this one over here, rinse him off. Take him from his neighborhood. This is the, we'll call it the Sand Dollar Relocation Project. But we're gonna rinse him off. And that's what they look like. You can see the little feathered edges there. So back in the water you go. And they'll bury themselves, I guess, to get out of the sun. And when the water comes back in, they'll resurface and move around and do what sand dollars do. Now here's something else I've seen before. These things, sometimes you touch them, they just disappear. But that one's dead. It's almost like a periscope. Up periscope. And there's some dogs out here earlier. There's some dogs way over there. They're out here looking for food. Looking for scrap fish. A few years ago, oh gosh, this is probably 2015, 2016, I introduced Ultimate Beach Frisbee to a few of the boys in the neighborhood here, and my nephew, and it just took off. So I brought in a few more Frisbees, and we started playing Ultimate Beach Frisbee over here, where there's a lot of sand. Even put on a tournament one weekend, and had teams coming from mostly Calbayog, the colleges sent a couple teams. Some of the local Brown guys had a team, and it was a 2-day event. And of course, just like anything here, you get something started, unless there's somebody to take over the helm on it. Once you leave, it dies out. So Ultimate Beach Frisbee died out here, but they are playing it at or continue to play it at Northwest Samar State University on their big open field. So it really wasn't beach frisbee, but Ultimate Frisbee. I don't know if they still play it. They might, but I can't do it anymore. This dog's barking at me. What? Like I'm invading his territory. He might own this beach, I don't know. In any case, the word on the street is there's not much fish to be caught this day, or to be had this day. Otherwise, you would see a ton more people out there hitting these boats as they come in. But for some reason, the people know when the boats come in and there's not much fish, the people just don't come out. But when they're loaded with fish, some reason the people know, and they'll be out here in droves. There'll be resellers out here collecting buckets of fish, take them into town, and resell the fish. But today, as I showed you earlier, there's not much fish to be had today. In the shallows right here is where you can get a true indication of whether the tide's coming in or going out. And I don't know if you can see it from here, but the little ripples in the water's heading this way. You can see watch, we strip a little sand, you'll see the direction of the sand. The direction of the water and the direction of the sand is going out to sea. So tide's still going out. And just in a few more minutes, it'll reverse and come back in. And for the next 3 or 4 hours, this sandbar will disappear. In all honesty, one of the reasons I come out here in the mornings, not to, get some fresh air and get a little exercise, but to escape the noise of the village, the dogs, the roosters, the motorcycles. You can't hear it now. Well, I'm going to conclude this walk. I'm going to go back and have me a cup of coffee and start thinking about what I need to pack to head back to Manila. So, from the sands of Tomaliques, we'll see you later. And just like that, I'm home. This fella here on the bike, he's selling fish, selling bring-on, which is it's a mackerel tuna. You're not going to catch that here. You're not going to catch that out here. So all that mackerel tuna is coming from Katarman, northern Samar. It's not the freshest fish. It was probably caught last night and trucked down to Calbayog. Takes a couple hours to get down here. And by the time he collects it at the fish port, comes out here, That fish could be 6 to 10 hours old. You never know. Big catch this morning. Big fish catch this morning.
Who?
June's out there. Like,
Get a fish.
little white fish about this big.
I have no idea.
Please help us out by mashing that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell. For real-time updates, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and X. And always remember, never give up on a dream. And we'll see you next time.